Hi team, it's Eric Harlington with Guaranteed Rate, and I wanted to shoot this video and send it out to some of my referral partners who've been calling and asking some questions about, oh, what do we do on these price reductions issues? Is there a way to not have to have price reductions, and is there a way possibly to make it work with the same amount of money that we had before with a buyer? So it's kind of that point where the buyer and the seller have to come together, and what's a good way to work this out. And I think what I've kind of figured out is this actually permanent seller buy down. It's a seller credit. And it basically, if you look at my screen here, you can kind of see how I've kind of framed this up. But, the idea is that we have $1 million, we have $1 million sales price, 20% down, $800,000 loan amount. And rates are kind of off and on, but this is just an example. It might be accurate, it might be a little bit off because rates change 5 or 6 times a day. But when I shot this, it was 5 3/4. That's with no points. The payment was $57.72. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at now. We have a trouble. It's been on the market too long. What are we going to do? It's not selling. Let's talk about a price reduction. Okay, we'll do 950. And if we go down by 50 grand, 20% down, 760 loan amount, same rate, there's no points. It's $233 a month cheaper. Okay, great. It's great for the buyer, but maybe not so good for the seller. So let's see this. Let's talk about, maybe can we convince the seller, talk to the seller that, hey, what happens if we offered a 2% buy down, or 2 points, that discount points that's paid as a credit to the buyer to basically buy the interest rate of 5.7 to 4.7. So same, we won't lower the price. We're at $1 million. We still go 20% down, still financing 800,000. The rate's at 4.7. But look at this payment. This payment becomes $52.77. So that's savings $495 a month for that buyer. Well, the buyer likes that because rates have gone up. So, and the seller, instead of lowering 50,000, he's only come in with an extra 16,000. So that's kind of a win for that seller. And then how do we know if that information is accurate? Let's look at this fourth column, which is the price versus rate. So if you look, it kind of like, what this tells me is, what would I have to lower the list price to save this $495 a month? And at the same rate at 5.7, if you compare this back to the original column over here, I'd have to lower the price $106 and $106,114 to be able to get my payment to match what I did on this, 2 points paid by the seller for the buy down. So in a way, what you see is that the seller's actually going to net more money, and the buyer is going to get the payment that he maybe had a month ago, because now the interest rates have gone up. So this is a really cool thing I think we can actually do on listing, on your sellers. It's one of those things you have to have a one-on-one conversation. I'm here to help explain that to your sellers, kind of in the same kind of a presentation that we're having here. We can Zoom call, we can do whatever we want to be able to explain this, but I think it's a way that makes sense, that both the buyer and the seller are very happy that we kind of found a solution for them to make this thing all work together. And that's what we're here, helping families get into housing. So anyway, I hope that helps. You've got my number down below. Again, it's Eric Harlington at Guaranteed Rate. Thanks for listening to my video.